Hey everybody, it's Jameson, and I'm going to shoot a video that's very similar to one of the previous ones I've done, a couple of previous ones I've done, with the undersea life and the Mirini that I'm buying from Tabitha. So I found these mirrors at a store called At Home. They were, so here's the store, At Home, and it looks like they were $20 originally. Actually, I didn't peel that off. They marked it up, isn't that funny? It was $17.99, then they marked it up to $19.99, and then they had it on clearance for 25% off, so I got them for $14.99. And I thought $15 for a frame that was really pretty substantial. I mean, this is a nice piece. It's got a good diameter, and it kind of has its own stand here. It's got a little bit of a beachy look. That kind of porthole that I did the last time was fun, and I've got plenty of Mirini left, so I thought I would just have some fun and make some more underwater scenes. These have 3 little clips in here that barely cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use transparent glass so that light comes through these. And the glass that I've chosen, I've got 2 of those, so I'm going to make 2 of them. The glass that I've chosen, I've had in my shop for years. So this is a special production Bullseye glass, and I just got the light table out so that you could see it. It's this clear with inky blue streaky. So it's a real deep blue color, and I bought these forever ago. I don't know that you can even find them anymore, but they've been in my stash for a long time, and it is far past the time to actually use them. So I only have 2 pieces, so hopefully I am successful cutting perfect circles out of both of these, and if I can't, then I'll just pick a different color glass for the other one. But let's hope that the cutting skills are strong today. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these, and I'm gonna do these as single layer glass within the frame and build up my Mirini and everything on top of that. So let's get to cutting. Okay, here we go. I still have not cut circles often enough that I don't get nervous every time I do this, but we're gonna give it a shot. So I've measured out my circle size. I have some oil that I keep in a little cup here, so I've already oiled my cutter here. I use the Silberschnitt cutter. I know that there are other circle cutters, and so you're welcome to try others. So I'm just getting a quick visual, make sure I've got plenty of room for my circle to run, and also make sure I'm not hitting my cutting bar over here. So I'll move that over. So that looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and lock this down. And then I have read different tips, and there are different videos on these. You can do it kind of however you want. I like the one where, I'm gonna put this here so it stops sliding on me, that you hold with your right hand and run counterclockwise with your left hand. I don't know why, it's just, for me, that's what I've kind of fallen into. So let's run this score. I said run the score. We're not running the score. That was just scoring it. Okay, so now we've got our glass scored, and so the tips that I've seen are to flip it over and run the score, and then use your glass cutters to cut some relief lines. So we're going to try that, and you can use carpet or a mat or something. I've got this rubbery like shelf liner just to give some flex here so that you can easily press and there's some give and run that score. So cross our fingers that this works. So you just press down until you hear that kind of pop, and kind of follow that around, then applying pressure. Let's see, it's kind of hard to see this score line because this is so dark. So I just want to make sure that I'm applying pressure in the right spot and fairly consistently all the way around. I'm not sure that I'm doing a great job here because I can't see in that really dark area. There we go. It's running a little bit better. I tell you what, I am sweating bullets right now. I'm just a nervous wreck doing this, and doing this on camera in front of you all makes it even worse. Okay, I think my line is not quite, I don't think my scores run over here. Son of a gun, that was close. Well, I broke out the glass here, but I didn't break my circle. Yikes. All right, so now I'm going to flip it. I'm going to very carefully score, and I'm going to try not to touch the edge of this circle. Let's just see how that goes. I'd like to try to keep this rolled edge if I can. I'm not sure that that's a great idea, but we're going to give it a shot here. So now I'm going to run that score. Feels very loose. I'm not sure that I can get this out. Oh, it's so loose. Can I do it? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut one more relief right here. There. I got it. And I was able to keep that rolled edge. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut the other one. Let's hope that the other one goes just as smoothly. Okay, now that I got my 2 circles cut, I'm just going to start to build this. And on both of these, I decided I want a little bit more of an ocean floor kind of effect. And so I went looking through my scrap, and I have some rolled edges of French vanilla from Bullseye. And this is actually thin. This is 2mm. There's plenty of depth in that frame, so the extra thickness at the bottom is not going to cause a problem. I may have to put just a little felt or something behind the tab on the top just so that it doesn't rock within the frame, but this will be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and cut now the French vanilla to put at the bottom, and then I will continue to build out the rest of this design just using all sorts of little bits and elements and whatnots that I've got around that I think might look fun for these pieces. Okay, here we go. I've got these put together now. I decided to do a little bitty 4x4 piece with some sea life on it. I had a family member who reached out and said, hey, I'm on a real tight budget, but I just love these underwater things you're doing. Can you do one for me? So I squeezed another little 4x4 inch piece in there. I dusted some powder on there. As you saw as I built this, I put down lots of different vitrograph and then all sorts of little goodies. Now, quite a bit of this is from Tabitha, but this is almost a who's who of some of my favorite suppliers. So some of the vitrograph is from JL Vitrograph, which is on Etsy. There are actually a couple of pieces even on here from Lori Moreno and some pressed Murini. This is one of them here, this little orange flowery thing that kind of stretched and I thought looked like an interesting piece of coral, and same here with this orange one. But lots of the bits and the twisties and the vitrograph are from Tabitha. So, and then I even used a little bit of that goldstone frit that I've featured before that came from Glass Underground. So I'll drop some links if you're interested in these items. I am going to put these in for a tack fuse, and we'll see what they look, and a long anneal, because there's a lot of thickness and varying heights and stuff on here, but we'll see what they look like when they come out. All right, I have cooled the kiln, and you know, there's a lot of debate about how when you can crack your kiln open and the cooling schedules and whatnot. At 200 degrees, excuse me, at 300, I usually put a kiln post or two under here just to vent and start to cool the kiln. And then at 200, I open it wide open, and then I usually take my things out at 100. I've seen that guidelines online quite a bit, and that works well for me. So we're at about 150 now, so I'm gonna open this up and see what we got. Okay, so I used paper on two, but then I didn't on this little guy. But look, okay, that aventurine blue powder in the back is pretty cool. Oh, these are awesome. They're gonna look cool in the frames. I'm real pleased with the firing on these. I, stay low. I only go to about 1350 for 10 minutes so that I keep the definition of particularly those beautiful fish murini and shells and other things. Really cool. The only thing I can tell just at very first glance is that this little red guy fell over and fused. That might be a problem in the frame, I don't know. But other than that, everything looks good. So let me let this finish cooling and then we'll put it in the frame and see what happens. Okay, so as I thought with this one, because this piece, it was standing on its end, but it fell over to the side. This is now a little too close to the edge for this to fit the way I had intended in the frame. So I have two options. The first is to take it to the grinder and try to grind this down, because as you can see, this is quite thick. Let's see, can you see that? So I could try to grind this down to be a little bit closer to 6 millimeters to have it sit, or try to take this off. That just feels very risky to me. So what I've decided to do instead, let me show you the construction of the frame. See, there's quite a channel back here. There's plenty of space. And when I put this in here and this rests right against the frame, it's standing off the rest of the frame. So I have these little bumpers, just these, I have a whole variety pack that I've purchased, but these are rather thick and square. I've cut some of them in half and a couple of others even smaller than that. And I've just placed them in here as kind of soft bumpers to help level out the appearance of this piece in here, so that once I put it in my frame, the glass is touching the frame here at the very bottom, and it's touching these bumpers, and I'll go ahead and put these on here, and it'll be in there nice and secure, and there will be a little bit of a gap, but not too much. And because of the lip of the frame, you can barely see those unless you're looking at it from an angle, but you certainly don't see them straight on. So I'm gonna finish putting this back on, and then I'll show you the finished pieces.